everyone, welcome to the Skyler Show episode 3. Today we decided to be outside instead of being in the studio because it's the first day of fall and it's so nice out. Now let's get started with Hot Talk. Okay, so we're here today with Rachel Ulinsky, the choir director of Armada High School, and I'm going to ask her some questions about where she sees herself and the choir in the future. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
So, how is this year going, and where would you like to take things this year?
Well, so far our choirs are growing a lot. Middle school choir is back up to 50 students. High school concert choir is up to 24. Chorale is 24. So our numbers are good. The sound is pretty good. I tell you, middle school is really doing a great job already matching pitch and singing through songs. They're harmonizing already, and it's only the second week of school. That usually doesn't happen. Concert choir is learning about the songs, about how to read music, and that's really exciting too because a lot of those students are new to choir as a whole. Chorale is getting ready for their first event in October, and they are already putting together that repertoire and sounding pretty good at it too. So I'm excited about this year.
That's great. So now that you are teaching in all three of the buildings, how are you managing things with that?
I have to be very organized. I'm finding myself really putting a lot of time and thought into what I'm doing for that week and making sure I have everything I need in that particular place. Every day I find myself making sure like my lessons are over here, my materials that I need are all put together. It's been in a very big eye-opener as far as being organized.
Yes.
And I think I'm getting there. Not quite there all the time, but I feel like I'm more on top of it than I thought I would be.
Yeah. So do you like working with the elementary kids? Are they easier to work with? Or?
I don't know about easier, different. Elementary is where you learn to love it. That was my biggest concern when I started back at that level, bringing that fun and joy, to learn how to bring joy to it. It was just something they needed to do, and I feel like I am helping them explore it with using their voices, their instruments, moving, and giving them a lot of opportunities in each way to do that in our lessons. And so far, they're really, really liking it. So I'm having a good time. I work hard at it.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a lot of fun to work with the elementary kids.
It's different. It's fun at every level for what it offers. Elementary, is it perfect? No. But when you see the excitement on their faces over using boom whackers or rhythm sticks, and learning how to count a rhythm or to sing a melody, it brings it back to the basics. Whereas when I get into middle schoolers and they're so excited to harmonize and to create different textures within the song, that to me is exciting.
Yeah.
And then to come up to the high school and to see the finished product and really make it as close to perfect as I could possibly make it, that in itself is something totally different. So I'm very lucky to see all three levels of that process.
Yeah.
So I don't know who I like better. I like them for all of their unique qualities in themselves. Students at different levels and ages bring different things to the table.
Yeah.
There was a saying that the bigger the kid, the bigger the problems, the bigger everything.
Yeah.
And that may be true, but little kids need other things that big kids don't need anymore. So it's brought back that whole other game of, can you tie my shoe? Can you, help me do this or that when I don't normally do that?
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat, when you see something that it's something that brings back memories of my own kids. So I kind of like that.
Yeah. So I've known you 5 years, and you've always been an outgoing person and very happy. but sometimes it can be tough dealing with students. So how do you connect with them, do you feel?
I feel that I try to be a human with them, you know, understanding, being compassionate, being, I guess, real, because you know, when you have that connection with a person or a teacher, when they understand where you're coming from, or, you know, the situation that you're in, it is easier to look to them for advice or help in whatever situation you may be in. I think I bring that to the table. I try to bring that. I don't know if I'm always successful, but it is in the back of my mind that I try to be understanding of what is happening in their world and never say to them it's not important, because it is. It may not be something in my forefront of thinking, but it is in their eyes. So it wouldn't be right for me to say that it wasn't important. So I try to be understanding and compassionate when it comes to their issues. However, I always try to remind them that I am not a mind reader. I do know when students don't feel well or they're not quite right that day, and I do ask them. And if they decide to share with me, I try to take that in consideration of what's happening in our day. But I also feel like this is one of those classes that you can kind of leave your problems at the door and let it just ride. If you can't fix it right now, let it go. It's not going to hurt anything to move it aside and pick it up when you go on the door on the way out. You know, music kind of lets you do that. So I feel good about that.
Well, I feel that all the students that you have in here usually enjoy it. And I think that says something about the director in a good way. So that's about it. Thank you for coming on. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Come see us.
So today in Hot Talk, I want to talk about Wendy Williams' body shaming. I know we talked about it last week, but since then, her new season started on Monday, and she released a statement. So I want to watch the video, and then we'll talk.
I can also take it. So I went to Barbados with my husband. We were there for 7 days. It's the last thing that we... Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I did not see anybody with a camera. I am having the, you know, the boy stayed here. It was a lover's holiday. So these pictures have made me a hot topic, which I can't stand. Okay. Look, I told you I like to dip it and do it. There are a lot of people that have a problem with me not having a behind. But how many times have I told you all that I am shaped like a capital P? My party is in the front, never in the back. You know. And, you know, I could buy a booty or wear booty pops or something like that, but I'm done with all that. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not doing that. Shout out to the lovely T.I., who was very civilized in his comments regarding my lack of behind. But you know, but he threw the ball, but he was very civilized. Well, you know, T.I., I don't have a behind like you don't have height, which is why you wear lifts. And no, we're not fighting. In the name of Major and King and your cute family, we are not fighting. We are just grown people throwing subtle.
So now that we've watched the video, I understand everything that Wendy is saying. She's shaped like a capital P, and she's always said that, and she's very confident in her body, and I think she looks great. So, next in Hot Talk, I want to talk about the new season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's season 14. It's the 10th anniversary of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's been a decade. I don't think that they ever thought it was going to last this long, but they also released a new promo with going back to season 1 with the old intro, and they recreated it, But some changes you will notice is Rob and Caitlin are not in the promo, which is understandable. But I think they're all doing well. There's rumors that Kylie is pregnant. I don't know if those are true yet. We'll see. Scott is still in the picture, which is good. Him and Courtney are co-parenting, so that's good. And yeah. So next I want to talk about the Kardashian Dash store got robbed yesterday. Well, not really robbed. A woman came into the Dash store and pointed a gun at the cashier and then pointed it at a woman behind the counter. And she is saying that if the Kardashians come on communist territory, they will be executed. And 2 hours later, she came back, police say, and she had a machete and she was out talking to the press with a machete, and at the end she shoved it in the door and she was talking about Cuba and President Trump. I do watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I think some of the things that they do are kind of out there, but at the same time no one deserves to have that happen. Especially, I just think this woman was crazy, and if she's from Cuba, what is she doing here? I don't get it. I just think it was sad. Today I sat down with my producer, Alyssa Schultz, to do a confessional, and she asked me some personal questions. Have a look.
So today in your confessional, I will be asking some hard-hitting questions and maybe learn some more about you.
Okay.
So some of your videos, you definitely come out honest, and people, your viewers, hear that and they see that. And something that's usually has been asked is, are you just mean to be mean?
No. If I hear a story, I'm going to go to the studio, turn the lights on, and I'm going to talk about it. And it's not only the studio. At the Armada area schools, I've known to be quite blunt and honest. If you do something as an individual, I'm going to talk about it. If it's wrong. If it's wrong, it should be talked about. And it's not because I'm being mean. I'm not being mean at all. I just think that things need to be talked about and not let go all the time, because we do that a lot in society.
Do you think that has anything to do with your hard bringing up with coming out? And can you tell us a little bit about that, your hardships of growing up, coming out? Do you feel like you're alone?
I have a great support system. I don't feel alone. Has it been hard? Yes. I don't think I've lived the worst life, but have I been through hard things? Yes, with losing my house, going through a house fire, just several things like that. And coming out was a long journey. All my friends were very supportive. Everyone was very supportive except for my family. And I took that really hard. They're just not open, which I think is really sad, especially my sister and my dad. But that's okay. I eventually think that they will. If not, that's okay. Because in the end, it's about me and not them. And I'm really happy right now. I have a great life, great friends. So my life is pretty good right now.
Do you think you work too hard to get your parents' approval, especially your dad's?
I would say sometimes. There's been a few times where I've really wanted them to be proud and they haven't, because I'm gay and they just look at that and nothing else.
Would you say that it has hurt you worrying too much about getting people who you know will probably never change his approval?
It's definitely caused some stress. But I always end up getting over it. I do bury things a lot, and that's probably not a good thing, but we all deal with things in our own way.
So to get on a more positive side note, you were the class of 2017 at Armada High School, so congratulations
Yes.
about that.
Thank you.
And I have heard that you are very involved in the Armada area schools, and I'd like your intake on the Armada area schools and where you were at with the school and what you did in high school and what you are continuing to do, maybe even your mission.
Well, I was very involved with administration for the past 3 years, not the first year of my high school career. Um, I've worked with Kelly Skokna, Phil Jankowski, Lori Wilson, Mike Muzzery, Don Holston, Mark Goszewski. They're all phenomenal administrators. But there's always room for improvement, and I think right now the Armada Area Schools is doing great. What I'm working on right now at the Armada Area Schools is a suicide prevention campaign. We're going to have some posters made up for that and put around the school, and I hope to work with administration to do more with that. Kelly Skokna is very supportive of that, I believe, which I think is great. What else would I like to see happen? I would like to see more teachers hired, because what we've done is we've just gotten rid of teachers and we haven't replaced any. And you can definitely tell that we're understaffed a little bit when it comes to scheduling students. And I think it's important we give the students a little choice of what they have, because that'll make their day a little better, having classes that they like. So I definitely want to work with administration on that. I am going to be asking on the season finale of our show that all the administrators come on and we'll talk about all the issues and hopefully settle everything. But yeah, I love the Armada Area Schools. I think all the administrators do a great job, even though sometimes I don't agree with them or they don't agree with me. They've been really great at letting me do my thing and staying in my lane.
So, one thing that your viewers have been wondering, is there an LGBT community or club at Armada? Or if not, would you be willing to start one? Do you think it'd be a great idea?
I would like to see one come someday. Whether or not I will be in charge of that, we'll see. As you know, I have a lot going on in my life. I'm a very busy person. I might take that up, or I'd like to see it happen, whether I do it or someone else does. I think it'd be a great thing, because Armada is very closed, especially in our school system, and I would love to see people be more open-minded. There's several kids who have not come out because they're just scared, and I think that's so sad. So if eventually I would like to work with administration to have a program like that, but right now I don't see it.
There are rumors that there was someone by the name of Jack Sheridan. He created a lot of trouble with you, and we just like to get maybe the lowdown if you're comfortable explaining.
Well, Jack Sheridan, he was one of my best friends, I thought. This is before I came out, and I didn't really know what I was feeling. Well, after I came out and I had time to figure out things, I realized that I had a lot of feelings for him that I didn't realize that I had before. And he had stopped talking to me because of that, and I had no idea. And I always blamed him, but I really think it was me. That was just a very hard time in my life. Kylie Krause was a major support system in that. I don't want to get too far in detail into it because I just don't. But I have nothing against Jack Sheridan. I think he's great. So, yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank you for doing a confessionals today, and if we could do more in the future, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching today. I had fun on the show today. Tune in next Friday for our 4th episode. Thank you.